Welcome to tonight's MCC matchup between the Richland Bombers and the Hanford Falcons here in Fran Rish Stadium. This is a crosstown rivalry matchup that's been long awaited since last year's 21-14 matchup that the Bombers ended up winning. I'm Max Schuster alongside Alec Emmerman. Alec, tonight should be an exciting night. Like I said, last year, a close game. I wouldn't expect anything else this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Bombers last week took on the Hermiston Bulldogs down in Hermiston and came out with a 56-48 victory. And the Falcons played here against the Chiawana Riverhawks. As the captains walk out on the field for the Bombers, it's Josh Woodard, Gavin Wilcox, Nathan McClellan, and Race Reeves. For the Falcons, it's Lucas Franson, Eli Perks, Carter Kaufman, and I believe Braden Christensen. My apologies, I think it's Grayson Jones. Anyways, these two teams, as they meet in the middle, they face off. The Bombers on the away side of Fran Rish, and the Falcons are home this year. The Bombers' home side was this in 1980 before the remodel, and that was before the Falcons even existed. So this is Bombers' original home side. Falcons, they're home, and they're ready. Last year it was flipped, and Bombers were on the home side. In the league setting, Bombers sit 2-0, beating both Southridge and Hermiston, and the Falcons, on the other hand, are 0-2, losing to Chiawana and Hermiston. So both teams have played Hermiston this year, had very different outcomes. Bombers had a massive showdown, or offensive showdown, passing showdown specifically, down in Hermiston. Woodard throwing for over 300 yards. And Perks in their matchup versus the Bulldogs only threw for 21 yards. So a big difference in their offensive style. But both physical teams, defensive-wise, the Bombers sit last in the MCC, with the Falcons sitting at fourth behind some of the top teams in the MCC that are traditionally the top teams, which is Kennewick, Chiawana, and Kamiakin. Hanford's only allowed 611 yards between their two teams to the Bombers' 1,015 yards, and 700 plus of those yards came last week against Hermiston. So it's going to be an exciting matchup here tonight, as one's a very defensive team and one's a very offensive team. That's how you get some of the best showdowns in all of sports history, Alec. Kickoff is almost underway, and back to receive the kick for the Bombers. It's number 24, Jake Brannon, and number 2, John Simons. Kicking off for the Falcons, it's Elijah Leader. And the kick is off in the first game that the first time these two teams have faced off since last year's matchup. Simons takes up the middle, gets a couple of blockers, and the ball is loose. It's on the ground. It's a pile up, and we'll see what way the referee calls it. Bobbled out of Simon's hands, but Bombers do recover it.
Looks like that ball was recovered by Colson Mackey.
We saw the past last game, the Bombers came out with 3 passes right in a row. We'll see what they do this year, or this game. Simon's in the backfield alongside Woodard. And they throw it out to the right side to Reeves. Looks for a blocker, can't get it. Trying to work his way around and gets just past the yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9. Same setup, just flip. Bosick on the bottom side of the screen. And they go to Bosick across the middle. Makes one guy miss and gets tackled by Perks just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short. Like I said, Perks with the tackle, starting quarterback for the Falcons as well. This time Woodard hands it off to Simons. Simons takes it left, gets upfield to the first down. That's a first down for the Bombers.
Simons being the MCC leading rusher so far this season. He had a huge week last week and is looking to continue that this season.
Actually, the leading rusher just barely is Taylor from Chiawana, who the Falcons let up 164 yards rushing last week. Bombers had a bad defensive week as well, but this time Woodard running, makes one guy miss, gets to the first down, but it looks like they'll mark him just short. Like I was saying, Alec, Bombers let up big yards from Isaac Corey last week, so Hanford coming off a big rushing defeat with Hunter Taylor running for 164 yards, and Bombers coming off from a big passing defeat on the defensive side from letting Corey throw for almost 500 yards. Woodard with Simons. He pitches it to Simons. Simons gets upfield after block. Rolled over and gets the first down just inside the 30. Bombers look like they're marching on their first drive. Simons in the backfield, 2 receivers. They get up the middle. Tackle's made by a swarm of Falcons. But at the bottom of that pile,
Bombers coming out with a very run-heavy offense in the first drive. I wonder what the purpose of that is after last week having a lot of passing.
Woodard gives it off to Brandon this time, takes it up the middle. Perks in on that tackle, as well as Namey. This is the back-to-back weeks that the Bombers have faced a 3-man defensive line. The Falcons faced a 3-man defensive line last week against Chiawana, but this week we'll see if, I'm guessing the Bombers will come out in their traditional defense, which is 4-man front. The flag is thrown. That was encroachment by the defense before the ball was snapped. It'll be 1st and 5. Bombers inside 15 yards. Woodard with Brandon. 2 wide receivers. They give it to Brandon. Cuts up the middle. Gets hit hard. That was Caden Castro with the big hit from his safety position. Same formation, double tight end to the left. Pitches out to Brandon. Gets through 1 tackle. Brought down by about 6 Falcons. Bombers now sub out Gunnar Grawl at the tight end and put Cooper Schmidt, so still double tight end. There's an injured player down. Well, Alec, on this first drive, it looks like the Bombers are taking a completely different approach to their offense. Last week we saw them air the ball out the whole first drive, basically. And for the Falcons, they saw it last week, and we'll see what they can do to adjust. It's what it's looked like, though, so far as the Bombers have been able to. The Bomber running backs have been able to make at least one guy miss every play, which isn't a diss on Hanford at all. It's just you can see how powerful and elusive the Bomber backfield is.
Yeah, I mean, Woodard last week, what was it, 7 touchdowns that he threw?
7 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. So Falcons got a tough task on hand with Woodard in the backfield. Dual tight end. High snap, Woodard brings it in. That time, Falcons swarming behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3. And it looked like almost that high snap slowed him down just enough where it allowed a Falcon to get into the backfield and stop that play before it even started. Bosick out on the top of your screen, one-on-one. Three tight end on the left. They give it to Simons, and he takes it right behind the tight end. Gets hit hard. Tackle made by Christian Abel. Alec, we saw week 1, Caden Wilson with 13 tackles against Hermiston. He's out, and from what I've heard is for the remainder of the season, which is a big loss. He's still going into this week the leading tackler at MCC with 13 tackles. So big loss for the Falcons. Hope Wilson gets well. I know he's a big wrestler, so hopefully he can get well before wrestling season. As Perks comes onto the field. Three receivers out right. And Woodard looks that way. Drop ball by Ruelas. And a big hit by Josh Henning after he dropped it. You know what they say, if you hear footsteps, it's hard to bring a ball in. And that looks like is exactly what happened there for Ruelas. Bombers bring out kicker Jason Slack.
Followed by holder Race Reeves. Looks like they changed it up this year. Last year they had Colby Whitby out holding, and they changed that up to Race Reeves, although the kicker did stay the same. And the kick is up, and the kick is good for Slack. Bombers lead 3-0 in the first drive.
And Alec, we said we're curious what the Falcons can do to stop their backfield. They did it. Got down inside the 10-yard line. The Falcons pushed them back 3 plays in a row. Started with that. They had 1st and 5, got the first down, and then got Simons behind the line for a loss of yards. And then after that, Bombers just looked like they couldn't do much. And we'll see what the Falcons look like, led by Eli Perks on offense. And the Bombers have something to prove this week as their last place spot on the defense in the MCC. Slack, who just made the field goals, off to kick off for the Bombers. It's Renato Sabia Jr. to return, as well as Carter Kaufman. Kick is off, put on the 30-yard line. That's Kaufman, or 20-yard line. That's Kaufman that comes up and gets it. Makes a couple guys miss. Finally gets brought down. John Corbin with that tackle. You don't see it very often in high school football where a quarterback runs under center. You see that a lot brought back in college football a lot, and that's one of the turning points or the changing points between college and high school. But the Falcons do it. They run under center last year and this year, and with a guy like Perks who has as much power as he does, we'll see him run the ball a lot. He takes a snap. This time drops back to pass. He goes deep. Over the shoulder. Pass interference call. Pass was intended for Preston Bryant. And that's their #1 guy. Perks only having 31 yards passing on the season, but most of those targets have been to Preston Bryant.
Yeah, when you put a lot of pressure on the cornerback there for the Bombers, interesting first play, long ball for, as Max said, Perks doesn't have very many passing yards on the season, but he rears back for one and puts pressure on the cornerback and draws pass interference, which works out in Falcons' hands.
I'll tell you one thing. They've been planning that since the start of this week. Monday morning, when they walked in and did their film or whatever they do on Monday mornings, I can tell you one thing. They had that play in mind. A team like Richland for Hanford, I talked to Perks before the game, and I asked him just what it meant for a game like this, and he said, well, I don't know how you can't be motivated if the last time we won was 2019 and we only won twice before that. So they're motivated today. Them and their Falcons captains, they know what it means. They know what it could mean to their program and their fans that have come out here tonight to get a win here in Fran Rish. This time it's handed off. Kaufman takes up the right side. Rose gets off the tackle and brings Kaufman down at the line of scrimmage. Rose, the leading tackler for the Bombers coming into tonight's game with 9.5 tackles on the year. It's Perks under center. 3 receivers out wide. Ball's on the ground. Perks picked it up, and they blow the whistle before they can take him down. Looked like a bobbled snap. Just Perks couldn't quite keep it in his hands. Now it's 3rd and 12, and we'll see what they do. Who knows? They could draw another pass interference like they did that first time. But I would expect a passing situation like this, and the Bombers will be expecting it too. You see Reeves and Simons both step back. They have 3 receivers out on the left. Perks drops back. They hand it off right side, and ball gets nowhere. Caden Castro with that run. There was, I believe, 8 or 9 Bombers there in a second to bring that tackle down, and to bring Castro down. He's back to punt now. Same returners with Simons and Brandon. Brandon leading all receiving or returning yards on the year. In the MCC, he has 237 all-purpose yards. And Castro, oh, sorry, not Castro. That's leader. It kicks it to Simons. Simons takes it right. gets a blocker, and then brought down by 3 Falcons.
Looks like a late flag on the play right as Simons got brought down. Flag was thrown out.
Looks like they signaled it was on the Falcons.
That was holding on the Bombers. That'll start them on the 34-yard line at the start of this drive.
We'll see what the Bombers do. Last time got held to a field goal, but defense came out with a big stop, getting them the ball back without a score from the Falcons. Woodard drops back, looks left, gets Bosick across the middle. Bosick fights for the first down. They'll mark him just short.
It's 2 completely different start to the drive for the Bombers. It's very run heavy, as we said, first drive. And they go out first play of this drive with a pass. We'll see what they do here. Woodard rolls out to the right. He's going to scramble, gets the Bombers the first down, about a 5-yard rush for Woodard. Brings them up just about shy of the 50-yard line.
You saw Woodard right there scramble. Woodard is one of those guys, just like Perks on the other side. He'll take it himself, and he'll take it, and he'll run it just like a running back. Both quarterbacks today, very heavy rushing running backs if they have the opportunity. This time it's Simons up the middle, gets about 5.
Looks like the Bombers bring on a new set of wide receivers here. Two receivers spread out wide on each side.
It's pitched out to Brandon. Brandon trying to get around the corner and hit hard. That was Preston Bryant, who came from almost, it looked like, the other side of the field, where his receiver had taken him to finish off that tackle. Now they'll bring back in that first set of receivers we saw. Woodard on 3rd and 8. 3rd and 7, sorry. Has 3 receivers on the bottom side of the screen. Looks to them. Reeves right across the middle, wide open, hit hard, but holds on to the ball. Tackle was made by Caden Castro. Reeves lucky to hold on to that ball. It looked like it bobbled there for a little bit, but came down with it, and that's a first down for the Bombers. The offensive attack this drive seems to be more passing, which we've seen in the past work for the Bombers. Spoke to offensive line coach before the game, Tate Meyer, and he was just telling me how the Bombers their Bomber offensive line needs consistency, needs physicality, and they need a win up front for them to win this game. We've seen it they have great pass protection. We'll see what they can do with the run protection if they keep run blocking if they keep doing it. Penalty on the Bombers, looks like a holding call. They'll take him back just short of the 50 on the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and long. Woodard rolls out right, looking deep on the sideline, over the shoulder to Reeves, connects, and tiptoes on the sideline, steps out of the 4-yard line.
Oh, there's a flag on the play. Looks like they may be blowing that back.
You saw Reeves down there celebrating. He's like, oh, it's in, saying that he got 2 feet in, but the whole crowd knows there's a flag thrown. And for the Falcons, that's all. Sometimes that's the best defense you need, is for that yellow cloth to be thrown.
You see frustration from the coaches here on the Bomber side. That's back-to-back flags thrown on the play. That's brings up 1st and 30. That's a loss of 20 yards just on this drive alone from penalties. Brings up 1st and long again. You see two receivers on each side here with Simons in the backfield.
Woodard drops back, swings, gets it to Simons on a swing. Gets hit hard again by Castro.
See, the Falcons have been laying some big hits tonight. That's Castro's 2nd big hit.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Bombers will be flipping sides. And Alec, for the Bombers, that's a lot quicker first quarter than last week with how much running has been going on. Last week, both teams had about four possessions. Falcons, this is a similarly paced game. So we'll see how that can affect it. I did talk to Perks also about how effective or how it affects playing both offense and defense. He said, well, I wake up in the morning and it hits me like a wall. But he said with as much conditioning as they do, it will keep him. It keeps him going, and obviously he's having fun out there. Not much better than high school football on a Friday night. Bombers have the ball on the 44-yard line. 2nd and 24. Not what they're asking, not what Coach Mike Nyhold's looking for on a 2nd down play, but we'll see what happens. Now for the Falcons, this is their opportunity. They went 3 and out last time, and this would be big if the defense can come up for a stop and get Perks and the offense back on the field and see if they can put some points on the board and get an early lead. Woodard steps back, looks across the middle, nothing's there, takes it himself, gets around Franson, fights his way back into the sticks. Now it'll be 3rd and 9. That was Rafael Gonzalez who pushed him out of bounds and chased him down.
15-yard carry for Woodard. You see Woodard's not shy of the scramble and run. He's a very smart quarterback. He doesn't see anything downfield. He's not scared to take it on feet. As you saw, 15-yard carry there. See 3 receivers on the top of your screen. Simon's in the backfield.
Woodard looks right. Gets Mackey on the sideline, keeps it in, still short of the 1st down marker. We'll see what they decide to do. It's out of field goal range, but it's kind of that in-between dead space between field goal and punting. Bombers bring in Silent Kisanklane. What we've seen so far is he's their guy, he's their lead blocker. But he's solo in the backfield. He's the power back, though. I wouldn't be surprised if on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, they give it to him right up the middle. Looks like they'll bring pressure. No, and they get him to jump off sides. And I wonder if the Bomber, that was their plan all along, just to try and get him to jump off sides. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts.
And they do hand it off to Silent, as Max was saying. Their power back, he does rush for about 8 yards there. Takes it up the left side.
Ka'ane's still in there for the Bombers. And they give it to him. He takes it up the middle. Lowers his shoulder.
Flag on the play. It's interesting, the past 2 years, the Bombers have had pretty young guys in the backfield. Last year, Jake Brannon. This year, sophomore.
Keith Ka'ane. Yeah, and that's one of the things about Richland that kind of separates them. We saw Landon Charlton and Brandon split time, but this year it's that next guy up mentality. Simon's made the move from receiver to running back. He's taken off in that. But I talked to Brandon on a day-to-day basis, and he's not hurt about that. He just knows whatever it takes for the Bombers to win, he's willing to do. And that's the same with Ka'ane. You don't very often see 3 running backs for one team, and that split time pretty equally. Simon's definitely the starter, and the same with the receiving corps. They're willing to do what it takes. As Woodard rolls out right, cuts back, takes it himself, gets a blocker, trying to kind of protect himself as they brought him down. You also see back on the offensive line for the Bombers, Zach Davidson. He was out last week with a wrist injury. Back this week into that starting offensive line. Woodard looks left, quick pass right across the middle of the Reeves. Reeves loses some yards before he can gain some, takes it to the pylon. Touchdown, Bombers.
No, that's the second play we've seen where the Bombers snap it and quick release out of Woodard's hands, both times being to Reeves. But yeah, worked great for them. Reeves with the reception and scrambles away from the defenders and gets the Bombers touchdown. 9-0 slack out to kick the field goal here.
Not what the Falcons want on defense. However, it's not as bad. They took some time off the clock, which for a quick scoring team like the Bombers, that's a win in itself from the Falcons. We'll see. Now they get an offensive chance to get points on the board. Kick is good, gets the Bombers a 10-point lead here with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Falcons looking to start off their second drive, offensive drive, here with the return from Kaufman or Sarabria. Sorry. Slack puts it on the 20-yard line. Kaufman gets it again. There's Bombers there. No, he gets outside, gets on the sideline. Last man to tackle him is kicker Jason Slack. Great return there by Carter Kaufman, getting to the 50-yard line and setting this offense up with great field position to start the game, or to start this drive. That's all you can ask for a return. Honestly, if you can get 5 to 10 yards, it's great. It's better than what you could have gotten. But that is a 30-plus yard return by Kaufman. That's awesome for the Falcons. Last time they came out, they attempted a deep pass. They got pass interference. See what Perks does. Here's a replay of that. Kaufman gets a couple blocks, but his speed just let him take off. If Slack didn't get him, it looked like Rose was right there on him. But man, was that explosive. Perks gets the snap, hands it up. No, he drops back, goes deep again to Bryant. Big pass completed to Preston Bryant all the way down to the 15-yard line. A great throw that time by Eli Perks. I mean, put on the money, and Bryant used his size. Bryant sitting at 6'1", but he plays a lot bigger than that, athletic. Got up there and got that ball. Grawl limping off that time, who's a outside linebacker for the Bombers. Perks pitches back. It's Castro. Castro met in the backfield and makes one guy miss, makes another miss. Gets brought down to the 8-yard line. 8 yards short of the sticks. Down at the 13-yard line. There's a replay of that great catch and throw. Perks put it on the money, and no Bomber was there to stop it. Back-to-back drives, we've seen the Falcons come out firing. Wouldn't be surprised to see that all game. We'll see what the Bombers defense does.
Yeah, I mean, you see success with that. No reason to stop that as an offensive coordinator. I mean, you draw pass interference that gets you down the field, and then your next drive you get another 35-yard pass that marches you down the field.
Perks dishes it off to Kaufman. Kaufman tiptoes on the sideline, brought down on what looked at the 1-yard line. To me, it looked like Perks had no one there. It looked like he was throwing the ball away, and out of nowhere, Kaufman popped out.
Yeah, to me, it looked like he was throwing it away, and all of a sudden you saw Kaufman bring that ball down to the 1-yard line.
And Perks takes it himself this time. Touchdown, Falcons.
Looks like some confusion. It looks like the ball may have gotten out late, but the officials do rule it a touchdown.
Big touchdown there by the Falcons. That's all you can ask from the Falcon offense. Big passing play, and then Perks takes it himself, like we said. He was going to take it in, or he can run it, and that time showed his power from the backfield. Great play, or great drive there by the Falcons, getting themselves on the board and cuts the lead to 4. Well, there was a little bit of a trickery play there. But play got blown dead. False start on the offense. Falcons almost got the 2-point conversion there and cut it down to 2. They actually got it in, but whistle was blown dead before. Now they're attempting a field goal for our 25-yard extra point. Leader kicks it, gets it up, and it's good. Great kick by Leader, and barely snuck in over the goalpost, but hey, it's in. 3-point lead for the Bombers. A great offensive drive led by Eli Perks. Long pass to Presley Bryant, finished by Eli Perks with that rush that you see right there. Great drive there by the Falcons. You see the Falcons student section showing out tonight. Both student sections actually showing out tonight in a great tradition and rivalry matchup.
That's Rosen Simons back to receive for the Bombers.
Brandon not back there to receive. We've seen him back there all season. This is him. Rosen switch positions. Brandon's just off the field this time. Call me crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Falcons after that drive come for onside kick. No, they don't. Oh, then they do go onside kick, but it's recovered by Cohen Hansen. Hansen runs right through a couple guys and gets brought down. Alan, like we were saying, Brandon's not out there on the training table getting taped up right now. Hopefully everything's all right with him. Hey, not very often as broadcasters you call something like that, but right there, Falcons try to take some of their momentum, keep it going. Didn't work out in their favor, but if I were the Falcons, I'd keep doing plays like that all game.
Yeah, it looks like the Falcons there were looking to get the ball back and put up a score before the halftime, as they do get ball at half. Woodard with about a 7-yard completion there.
He goes to Boston. The sophomore last year, leading touchdown receiver for the Bombers. As a freshman, which you don't see very often, continuing that in this year.
That brings you back to talking about the Bombers not being afraid whatsoever of those young guys.
Woodard shares the field with Simons. Woodard looks right, nothing's there. Finally finds Mackey. Mackey gets across the 50, which past the first down, gets him the first down. Brought down and a hard hit. Looked like came from Castro again. And Castro's flying around the field tonight, Alec. He's been in on every tackle. You don't see a guy like that be in on almost every tackle in the game. Two receivers on the bottom of the screen. Woodard hands it off to Simons, up the middle. Gets past one tackle, but that time brought down by Henning. Henning pressured as a linebacker, saw the run go to the left, followed it. Now in the backfield with Woodard. Rose and Morellis at the bottom of the screen. Daniels up top. Handed off to Connor. Got brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Elijah Torres first on that tackle. Got him in the backfield, just got right through the offensive line. Chicane is still in the backfield as Woodard drops back, looks to pass to him. No, that's not the move. Tries to make a guy miss, but he's brought down in the backfield. Woodard signaling for a face mask, and now gets in the face of Henning. Things separate before they escalate.
Looks like there is a flag in the backfield here.
We'll see if that's the face mask Woodard was talking about.
It looks like they are marching it. They are marching it. Not sure if it was, looks like a 5-yard penalty on the defense.
It would be a replay of third down, which gives the Bombers another chance. For the Falcons, they had him in the backfield, stopped them. There was nothing there for him. He was just trying to make some magic happen. And they got a second chance. That's not what you want as a Falcon. As Woodard now, 3 receivers at the top, but hands it off to Simons up the middle. Simons gets a couple blockers, gets past the first down. And Alex, I bet you won't guess who we went on that time. Caden Castro once again coming from the safety spot. He crashes hard. He has been, if not almost every tackle so far. Duos at receiver. Woodard looks left. Gets Daniels low. No, ball bounces. Can't bring it in.
Yeah, Daniels coming off a huge week last week. That's a two touchdowns, both receiving for him. You haven't seen much over there, but with as many receivers that the Bombers have, Woodard likes to spread the wealth there.
Reeves with 3 touchdowns on the year. Mackey with 2 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns on the year as well. This time Brandon off the bench, got taped up, runs the rock, past the first down.
From the coaches on the Bombers side. Brings it back 5 yards from the Bombers.
First and 15. Woodard, different set of receivers in there. 3 receivers at the top of the screen, which include Birch, Corbin, Brandon brought down in the backfield, still fighting, whistles blown. Brandon slow to get up. Instantly signaling with Zach Birch for a trainer.
Yeah, as we said, he was down earlier. He got taped up, came right back out. Got the Bombers the first down, and then a play later, looks like he is on the ground with an injury as the trainers are out.
attention as they deserve and recognition. They are awesome. They're the reason football teams can even be football teams. Both sides for Bombers, those two, and for the Falcons, Matt Gray. So big shout out to all the athletic trainers out there. Thank you guys for what you do.
You see Buslick down for quite some time, and he gets up. Oh, Brandon, sorry about that. He gets up himself. Looks like Woodard reaches back, and a flag thrown. Looks like pass interference.
The ball was intended for Bossick, just pushed out of bounds by the defender. And that was Carter Kaufman, just couldn't quite keep him in bounds.
As you're creeping up on half, that's not the play that the Falcons giving those extra yards on that flag, as though there's still some time left. Like you said, they get the ball back at half, so they still could possibly have a chance to score. But the Bombers are definitely using this clock up, as they know the Falcons are going to be pushing for that end of the half.
Like you said earlier, the Falcons are doing a great job keeping the Bombers in check. They're not letting them air the ball out like the Bombers could last week against Harrison. They're stopping the pass and they're forcing them to run it up the gut, which has ran off so much time. I mean, in the Falcons, that's their offense, so they're used to it. The Bombers, it's making them slow things down and process things a little bit. Woodard shares the backfield with Simons. Three receivers on the bottom, looks across the middle. Mackey, touchdown, Bombers.
And that's that play we've seen for the third time this game. That quick snap and quick release right up the middle, as we saw that for Reese for a touchdown earlier. That's a play that we're gonna see a lot this season from the Bombers.
Last time the Bombers scored, Falcons were able to answer. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. Bombers get to a 16-7 lead. You see some communication issues right there as Henny and Perks were talking. Here's another replay of that touchdown. Mackey right across the middle. Kick is up. Again, there was contact on the kicker.
Looks like Slack gets pushed over after his field goal is made, heading right over to the huddle to kick off. Looks like some frustration from the coaches. Slack just shaking it off. Leaving plenty of time for the Falcons. Just shy of 5 minutes left. And it's a two-score game, but it's only 10 points in high school football. You can go anywhere with those 10 points. Same two returners back for the Falcons. Brought down by Zach Birch, assisted by Silent Kisokahane.
Started the season as a DA, now playing at defensive tackle. So you see one really quick guy in there, and Lion, for as big as he is, very quick. We'll see how the offensive line right behind the center. Sends a guy in motion. Gets it off to Bryant. Bryant lowers his shoulder, but still brought down behind the line.
Loss of 1 there on the play.
Drops back, going deep to Kaufman. Sorry, Castro. Got both those wrong. It's Sarvia.
That's that deep ball we've seen today. Falcons have had a lot of success with that, whether that be a reception or a pass interference. Nothing there as it is overthrown and almost intercepted. Sneaks out of the hands of Zach Birch and brings up 3rd and 11 here with just under 4 minutes left in the first half.
You see it getting a little bit chippy. You saw it. Got a push over. It's getting chippy and getting physical. Again, Birch steps back. Birch that time brings down Preston Bright, but they got it across 50 in the first down. Falcons are marching. 20 minutes and 30 seconds left. Looking downfield, Bryant again. He gets popped, but got the ball out. For the attention, grabbing the ball. Ref pulls out his flag. By the looks of it, looks like it's no receiver in sight. But for Perks, that's the best thing to do. It's better than getting sacked and possibly missing a flag. You can see that in no one.
Looks like the flag does go out. Yeah, Perk's just looking to get rid of that ball before he gets hit in the backfield. He does get hit and gets rid of the ball.
They wait for flag. There's no flag on the play. It looked like it was going to be. They dropped the flag. Perks sends him in motion. They hand it off. That's Castro, brought down by the Bomber defensive line, but he keeps fighting, gets a couple extra yards. And then the ball, or flags throw from every direction. It was a late call. It looks like it'll be on Daniels as the ref gives him the talking to. Defense fired up. The Falcons, this is the break they need. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left here in the first half.
Looks like a discussion there with the refs. Perks going over to the side to get his call.
And it looks like it's on the Falcons. It looked like how the refs were talking to Daniels. They were going to call it on him. Flip sides. Now it's 2nd and 20. Falcons need something big to happen. We'll see if they come back with a pass. It's been working this drive. 3 passes already. Obviously, what got them down there was a pass to Preston Bryant. Now they've worked their way back due to penalties.
This game was moving along pretty fast, and we've had a few delays here in the second quarter that's kind of slowed this game down. Still some confusion out there.
And for both teams, if I'm guessing either coach, they would rather have the replay down to get this game moving rather than having the conversation continue on, giving time from the players to take a break, which is awesome for breathing-wise and for exhaustion, but for the momentum and keeping the game flowing. And for what looks like guys like Rawl, who's kind of suffering an injury, he's limping around out there, still playing through it and playing great. But the flag is on the Falcons. It's a 10-yard penalty. And it's Perks.
2nd and 23 here.
They give it to Henning. Henning goes right up the middle.
Another flag on the play. Looks like could potentially be on Daniels again. Like we said earlier, this second quarter has got a little chippy. You see some pushing and shoving after this. Some head nods, and flag goes out after the plays. You see the replay here. Henning brought down, and some pushing and shoving. Does bring out the flag. See who they blow that one on. Looks like that will be on the Bombers.
What it looks like is both teams had a penalty and they got canceled out, so it's 3rd down now. So as if nothing happened. Perks goes into the huddle. Perks with the same formation. You saw Henning get it last time. Perks drops back. Has Daniels chasing him. And Daniels brings him down. Way in the backfield. Great defensive play by Daniels, and he's fired up right now. You can see Daniels just get off that block, and nothing was stopping him. It's 4th and roughly 25. Timeout by the Bombers, trying to stop the clock and get them enough time to get an offensive score when they get the ball back.
That's a huge momentum changer there as Falcons looking to go in the half just down 2 scores. Bombers gonna try and bring this one back out and put up at least one more score before that half is over. As we see that the Falcons are most likely going to punt this away here, as it is 4th and long, right like the 51-yard line.
Like I said, Alex, on the onside kick, on the kickoff, that's what they need. They need plays like that to keep them in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fake. It is very risky, as if they don't get it, it's great field position for the Bombers. But it wouldn't be surprised to see plays like that continuously happening throughout the game, just to try and get the momentum swung back into their direction. Because right now it doesn't seem like Hanford has the momentum. We saw them have a big pass down to Preston Bryant to get him down to the 35-yard line, and now they're pushed back on the 49. Lost, 14 yards, just mainly off of penalties, but partially off of that sack that Daniels just had. Falcons forced to take a timeout due to substitution issues. Welcome back here to this matchup. They have leader back to punt. Send a guy in motion, and they do punt it. It's Simon's back to receive, and he fair catches it. They'll start with the ball on the 24-yard line. Woodard with 3 receivers at the top. Simon's in the backfield, and it's Mackey all alone on the bottom. He rolls out right or left, cuts it up the middle. Rush taking himself, take him down.
Looks like a no-huddle offense here for the Bombers. They do have 2 timeouts left, but looks like they will be saving those. Woodard communicating to his receivers.
Woodard looks right. Didn't see anything that time. Stopped short of the first down.
The Bombers take their 2nd timeout of the half. You see this replay here. Woodard doesn't see anything. He goes to take it himself, and he gets met by a few Falcons there, forces them to call a timeout.
In knowing the coaches of the Bombers, that wasn't a designed quarterback run. However, that's what it looks like. That's what it looked like right there, too. Just Woodard, just instant, and they trust him. He's their guy. As shown, he's leading the MCC in passing touchdowns and or just all-purpose touchdowns for quarterback position with 10. A couple of those coming from the ground. So right there, that's a smart move. I'm surprised almost that Woodard didn't get that, just because he usually finds a way to get the first down. However, it's 3rd and short. Falcons could stop him here and, have a shot. They still got 2 timeouts left. Bombers only with 1 with 51 seconds. Woodard drops back, looking deep on the right sideline to Mackey, over the shoulder, incomplete, could not connect.
Mackey looked like he had a hand tied up there. He reached out for one hand and just off the fingertips.
And they bring out the punt team. not the way the Bombers want to finish that half with 51 seconds left, but give the Falcons another shot with 2 timeouts. Anything is possible. Hoffman back to receive. Slack punting it away. Great punt, puts it down on the 30, and it gets a favorable bounce for the Bombers and keeps rolling, rolls out on the 19-yard line. Slack, massive punt, flips the field, and in a time like this, that's what they need. Roughly a 40-yard punt by Slack, and that takes this last drive for the Falcons completely in a different route. They're going to need a pass play rather than, if they kept it down there on the 50, 40, 30, they could run a couple times. My guess is you'll see Perks drop back and pass it to Bryant, which we've seen happen on almost every deep route.
Yeah, we need 80 plus. The Falcons need 80 plus yards here. Probably 60 yards to get in scoring position. So we're going to probably see one of those long balls again. It looks like Perks rolls out and throws a short 6-yard pass to Bryant. Bryant being their main receiver this year for the Falcons. That's a 4-yard reception. Brings up 2nd down for the Falcons.
A stack of 3 receivers on the bottom of the screen. And he rolls out, looks that way, and it's caught in the backfield and throws it to nobody. Would expect intentional grounding. Intentional grounding is called, which will push the Falcons back. But once again, you can't get, for Perks, he can't do much more. It's better than possibly losing that ball in a fumble. Had 2 guys on him.
Falcons call their first timeout of the half. Second timeout
of the half. And honestly, if I were the Falcons right here, there's still 51 seconds. Or 28 seconds, you got a shot, but it's almost worth trying to take that knee, but the Bombers have 1 timeout remaining. Trying to take that knee and run off as much time as you can. This is a weird situation, because if you don't get the first down, the Bombers will call that timeout and try and get one last Hail Mary play, which we saw last week. They can do it. 5 seconds on the clock. And here's another look at intentional grounding. Had Schmidt and Daniels right there and just no one in sight. Raw still looks like he's out there playing, but you saw right there, kind of hesitant, slowing down. Hoping everything for him is all right.
Big 3rd down here for the Bombers. Really both sides. If the Falcons can get this first down completion, they still do have 1 timeout left. They can work their way down the field and put themselves in a chance to at least get a field goal here and put it within a 1 touchdown game. Perks gets the snap and he hands it off.
And that's what I figured you'd expect. Bombers, Coach Nyholt quickly calling the timeout. 22 seconds on the clock. Bombers hoping to get a punt and maybe have something happen on the return, or all else fails, trying to throw one last ball up.
And we saw last weekend at Hermiston, the Bombers had one of these halftime plays where Woodard just threw it up downfield, and Mackey brought it in for a touchdown at the end of the half, and that can be huge at the end of the half, bringing the momentum to either team.
Well, yeah, say hypothetically this were to happen for the Bombers. It takes it from a 17-point game to a 24-point game. which then makes it a 3-score game. And that's hard to come back from, especially. And now for the Bombers, it's different because they're a pass-heavy offense. You can score quick. For the Falcons, they live and die by their run offense, which is effective for most teams. And we see teams all around the country and the pros and college do that. However, it's hard to be explosive. We've seen a couple plays from Perks to Bryant that have showed signs of explosiveness, but nothing big. It's usually catch and tackle. Now for the Bombers, we've seen things. The one that got called back from Reeves. Well, that's an explosive play that we just haven't seen from the Falcons. Leader back to punt. Gets the punt off. It looks like it's a duff punt and rolls out of bounds at the 25-yard line, putting the Bombers in great field position with 15 seconds on the clock. It's not that necessary for a Hail Mary. You can run with 15 seconds. You can probably run 2 plays that can get you out of bounds, or at least 1 play that'll get you out of bounds with only 15 seconds and no timeouts. You don't want to risk running something across the middle. However, that's been what the Bombers have scored both their touchdowns on, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we've seen that quick look and quick throw work well for the Bombers here. If they do look to do that, they are sacrificing their time as we said, they have no timeouts left.
They bring down Castro, rushes right up the middle. On the left side, he gets Mackey.
We see that quick look and quick throw again. Bombers trying to rush this here as they only have a few seconds left on the clock.
And time stops with the first down, so it gave them a couple extra seconds. 5 seconds on the clock, and now this is when they can run that play that they just ran. I'm surprised that they ran something across the middle. They knew with 15 seconds they could get up there, clock it really quick. But the Falcons, this is their opportunity to get a stop, a big stop that they need.
Looks like the field goal team comes out, and looks like the Falcons do call their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
And another look at that. Mackey gets it down to the 12-yard, 13-yard line and moving quick. Bombers knew what to do with an experienced guy like Woodard in there. You'll have that. And on the defensive side, it's just that's one of those plays you have to make happen if you're the Falcons. You have to get that stop and now keep them out of field goal range and force them to go for the end zone on the next play. Now they got options. They can kick the field goal with Slack. Slack's got a leg, or they can go, and it looks like they're going to break this huddle in field goal formation. And their field goal team on the field. You don't see this by Coach Nyholt very often. That means he trusts this guy, and Slack's got a leg. Now to say that, there's nothing for sure. It's still a 30-yard field goal. You don't see too many 30-yard field goals made. Last week he made roughly a 30-yard field goal down at Hermiston. Kick is up, in with not a doubt. Slack's 2nd field goal of the day as they send it into the locker room. The Bombers with a 20-7 lead here at the end of the first half in the Atomic Room. Welcome back here to Fran Rish Stadium. I'm Matt Schuster alongside Alec Ammerman. Alec, first half, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's what we expected. Bombers had a lot of running, lots of rushing attempts at least. Most of their yards did come through the air. And however, on the other side of things, we expected Hanford to run the ball down the Bombers' throat until they couldn't stop anymore, and they've gone more to the air. They've had 3 or 4 big receptions, all by Preston Bryant. Perks, obviously, throwing really good balls in his direction, but Bryant coming up big. I mean, a couple of times he's had to use his body and his size to get in position to catch the ball. But it should be an exciting second half. Falcons start with the ball, so if they can come out and get an early score and make it a 14-20 game, that's a one-score game, and one stop, and next thing you know, it's a tie ball game, or Hanford even has the lead. A lot of ball left to play, and it should be good. I'm excited to watch this half unfold and see who goes home with the Atomic Bowl title this year. Second half of play is almost underway here in Fran Rish Stadium between the Richland Bombers and the home Hanford Falcons. Falcons, like I said, starting with the ball. Slack puts it on the 20-yard line. Kaufman taking it the other way, looking for a blocker, finds a hole, but gets taken down by John Corbin at the 28-yard line.
It's the second time we've seen Kaufman catch the return and completely take the ball to the opposite side and try and run it up. First time he did it, he did get about 30 yards. That time he did get brought down.
However, Alec, I mean, we've seen his speed displayed multiple times. Like you said, on that 30-yard return, so it makes sense. And you'll see him in the backfield every once in a while as well. Perks now under center, hands it off. It's Castro. Castro takes it to the sideline, knocked out of bounds. Cohen Hansen came out of the bottom of the pile. Bombers let up 4 yards on the play.
Looking to run the ball a lot. We'll see if they change things up. In the previous drives, we've seen that they've thrown the ball deep on the first play of almost every drive so far. So coming out and just running is definitely not what we've seen tonight. They must be changing something up as they did get a touchdown in the first half. obviously the need.
That time they did try and pass it. Looked like almost a backwards pass, but they say it was forward, incomplete pass to bring out their punt team, and 3 and out to start the second half. Not what you want. Bomber defense comes up big with the 3 and out. Now trying for a better punt than last time and get him offsides. It's Chris Daniels who jumped, and it gets the Bombers a first down, or the Falcons a first down. Unless they say, and they do say it was on the defense.
Looks like some of the Bomber players were trying to argue that it could go the other way.
And that's the break the Falcons need. That's all. I mean, that's all it takes to flip a whole drive and momentum around. They had him stop on the punt team, and just one mistake can completely turn it around.
You see 2 receivers out with 2 guys in the backfield.
And one of very few times we've seen Perks in the shotgun formation. And he drops back to pass, looking to the left side, now back to the right. Bryant across the middle. It's Birch there, but Bryant goes up and gets it on the double team. And that's what you call head top right there.
And that's the deep ball that we've seen all night. That's the second deep ball that Bryant has caught. And the Falcons seem to always bring those ones in. So that long ball has worked tremendously for them today. As a huge momentum change as you go from an offsides from the defense to a 30-yard play right there, and Henning takes it to the right side, and a gain of 12 brings them up to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, great run by Henning. He's been their power back all game. And right there, no one was even there to stop him. You can see here's a replay again on that deep ball to Bryant. Just 2 guys, nothing stopping him right there. Goes up on John Corbin and Zach Birch. That's one of the most athletic plays you've seen here tonight. Perks over to the left side, in the corner, toe tap. Touchdown, Falcons. Toe tap in the corner of the end zone. Great ball by Eli Perks, and an even better catch by Preston Bryant, or as you heard over the loudspeaker, Moose. That's what they call him. He's about the size of a moose out there. Just nothing stopping him. I mean, that's a great ball by Perks, but that's not possible if it's not for Preston Bryant. I mean, absolutely perfect play. 2 awesome athletic plays there by Bryant on the same drive.
You see, look how the Falcons had that play drawn up right to the corner, right over the shoulder, right into Bryant's hands, and he gets his feet down for that touchdown. Just what the Falcons needed coming out of that first half. They were down 2 scores, and they come out in their first drive and just march their way down the field with the help of a flag. March their way down 2 big passes and in the end zone, getting ready to kick that field goal to put it to a 6-point game.
And it looks like they're bringing out their quarterback, Perks, again. It was a defensive offsides, which half the distance to the goal. They're going for 2, trying to get to a 5-point game. Doesn't quite make sense, but they have a reason now. I mean, less points to come back from, the better. Perks with Henning and Castro, hands it off to Henning. Henning loses the ball on the ground. Kaufman picks it up And we'll see what the call is. And they call it short. Lots of confusion. As he lost the ball and they blew the whistle while the ball was not in possession. As you can see, Perks pitching his reason to the ref, but they say no good here. Oh my, Alec, look at that. That's what you look at. Watch on Sundays. Preston Bryant, a great catch, an even better throw from the outdoors. Great touchdown, and we'll see how the Bombers answer as it's a 7-point score game. The Bombers got the touchdown at the end of, or the field goal at the end of the first half to make it a 2-score game, and now it's back to 1 score. Gotta say, the momentum has shifted back to Hanford. That Falcon student section still loud as all get out. Now we'll see what the Bombers can do and see if they can get that momentum they had going into halftime back on their side. Kick is off. Right in the arms.
John Simons.
Of Simons. Got a couple blockers, gets it to the 35-yard line. Now, the Bomber offense, led by quarterback Josh Woodard, look to get themselves back to that score that their defense had let up. See Coach Nyhold talking to them. Woodard with two running backs in the backfield. Simons takes to the left side, gets tackled right at the yard line, or at the boundary. It was a 6-yard gain. Two running backs, it's Simons and Kisokane. Woodard hands it off to Simons, lead block by Kane. Takes it to the 49-yard line, big run there by John Simons. And they're moving the chains on the first attempt they have.
Simons just having so much force there in the backfield. Only standing at 5'9", he does show some power. He gets through the holes and just does run. Will run the defenders over, and Woodard rolls out to the right. Back to Simons for a 3-yard reception there. That'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Bombers. The Bombers bring in Reeves and Daniels out at receiver, bringing off Simons and Rose.
Yeah, we saw both those guys last week have deep ball touchdowns from about this distance. Daniels was around the 37-yard line, but Reeves was about this distance. I wonder, with 3 wide receivers out on the left. No, they hand it off to Kisokane, diving forward, trying to get a first down. Short, and they'll have about 4 to go.
This could be a huge stop here for the Falcons, as they do have the momentum in their hands after they come out with a first drive touchdown. Woodard rolls out to the left, looking to scramble, and he gets taken down with about a gain of 1 there. Brings up 4th down. That looks like 4th and 2. Woodard looking to the sideline to see what the call is. Looks like he is going to stay out there for 4th down.
Yeah, interesting call by the Bombers, but once again, it's kind of in that dead space. You obviously can't kick the field goal, but that punt, you pin him down and you can almost get a touchback, which you're only gaining about 10 yards. I'm surprised on a play like this they wouldn't go under center, but he drops back, looks at the pass, gets it to Corbin. Corbin gets the first down. Big 4th down conversion there.
Just the way the Bombers had that play drawn up. Corbin cuts in and no one really around him.
And Alec, we've seen it a bunch of times. That quick pass, the defense, the Hanford's, you can tell, definitely scared of that deep ball threat. Look how far off they're playing. They're playing a route about 10 yards, which if I were the Bombers, oh, look at Daniels. Daniels is wide open. No one's on him. Didn't matter, but he's a block, turns into a blocker. They get it to Corbin. Get the ball, get the guy the ball, and he'll make something happen is what they're going with right there. Corbin, a shiftier receiver, couldn't make anything happen right there.
Looks like Daniels didn't have anyone on him. He went to block. Looks like the defender got off Daniels just to get to Corbin in time before he got upfield.
Yeah, and that was Sean Arnold, who it looked, if you look at it again, it did kind of look like he was playing a zone coverage more. It's 3 receivers on the bottom. Corbin, the same play, different side. Makes one guy miss that time. And gets another about a yard again. It's almost identical play, just different sides of the field.
Three receivers on the top of your screen here. Bosick all alone on the bottom.
Woodard drops back, looks right, quick again, over the middle, up top to Mackey, just too far, incomplete pass, and it's 4th down once again for the Bombers. Now, this one's even more in that dead zone, Alec. Not much you can do.
Obviously, they want to be cautious about giving the ball to the Falcons in good scoring territory.
You know what I bet is happening here, Alec, is they're going to go quick across the middle of the rows. We've seen it 4 or 5 times today. 2 of those times have been touchdowns. No, he looks left. Nobody, no, he goes deep to Reeves, over the middle, diving, incomplete. Oh, and he caught it. Somehow Reeves ended up with the ball. Touchdown Bombers. Wow.
Reeves somehow jumps up and brings that in. Looks like the fans were a little confused, just as we were. We didn't think he brought that in, and sure enough, he came up and he had it in his hands.
Wow. We've seen back-to-back scoring plays be Sports Center plays, Alec. We saw Preston Bryant over there for the Falcons getting 2 feet down and making a diving catch, and Reeves, as not a very tall guy, he somehow laid his body out there. And that had to have been on the very tip of his fingernail for him to bring that in. Slack gets the extra point, and it's good. Back to a 2-score game. Bombers 27, Falcons 13. Wow, let's take another look at this, Alec. Woodard looked one way and said, no, I'm going to Reeves. Tipped, and he just stuck it. You don't see that very often. Stuck it with one hand.
Looks like he tipped it up to himself and brought it back down while holding his defender away and brought it in with one arm right before he hit the ground. That was incredible.
A risky throw by Woodard. That's centimeter, not even inches, centimeters away from being a turnover on downs. Back-to-back drives, it's so close to being turnovers. But amazing talent here at the receiving position for both Hanford and Richland. This is what rivalries are supposed to be like, Alec. Just back and forth. Still, Falcons are in it by a mile. They're not out of it. 14-point game. That's 2 touchdowns, and you've seen both times they've scored. They've scored in a pretty fastly manner. We'll see what Perks and offense can do here. Slat kicking off for the Bombers. It's Kaufman again, does the same thing and gets through that first line of tacklers, gets it to the 30-yard line. Falcons back on offense, looking to try and get something going again. Last time down, like we said, Sports Center catch by Preston Bryant in the corner, followed by a Bomber touchdown. And now they decide to get it out to Bryant again. (27-13), 4 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Falcons need something here. Perks under center. They send Bryant in motion, but they hand it off to Kaufman that time. Kaufman, using his speed, gets past the chains, and they're moving it. First down, Falcons. That's the speed we're talking about. We saw it on the return, and now we see it from the backfield. Bring Castro in, who's more powerful. We've seen him a couple times, on the tackling, and we've seen him on every tackle. But for a short, quick stint, having Kaufman in there with his speed, not as powerful, switch things up, confuse the defense a little. It's 1st and 10 from the 43. Drops back, Perks across the middle to Bryant. That time intercepted by Zach Rose. Now, Alec, as big as Bryant is, you can't stop that. That's great defense. Zach Rose just in the right place at the right time, put himself in a position to make that play. That's just the good defense right there.
Yeah, it looks like Rose got right in front of him at the last second. It looks like
here's another look at that play. Goes deep across the middle like we've seen it multiple times. And Rose just gets right in front of him and makes that big defensive stop. Bombers ball. Simons runs it up the middle. Gets stopped. Whistle blows. And no gain. There's a better look at that. Zach Rose just gets up there and gets it done. Three minutes left in the third quarter. Both teams know that if the Bombers can score here, it almost puts it away with not very much time left. But Woodard goes left, takes it himself, cuts it back, fighting for the first down. Gets tackled just short of the line. And it's going to be 3rd and mid.
And looking at on the Falcons side of things, the deeper we get into this game, the less we're seeing Perks out on the defensive side of things. As we started the game, we saw him out on defense for the first few drives, and the deeper we get into this game, the less we see him out there.
Now a little family story here. Perks is at deep safety, at free safety. That's Eli Perks. Now in is Asa Perks, his younger brother, who's a grade below him. And Woodard looks left, over the middle to Daniels. Daniels brings it in with a guy on him right away, takes 3 of them to get him down. Great catch and great throw by Chris Daniels. Can you tell those guys have been friends for a while?
Yeah, you know they have that chemistry. I'm sure that's that recess ball.
And
right,
look at that.
Right up the middle.
Right in his hands. Didn't even have to break stride. What a throw by Woodard. Now 3 receivers outright. Rose, Reeves, and Mackey. Bostic on the bottom, all alone, but he rolls right, gets it to Reeves on the 20. Goes up, tiptoeing on the sideline, tackled out of bounds. New set of receivers coming in, but they move the chains. Woodard with Simons in the backfield. 3 receivers on the bottom, but they give it to Simons. Simons gets a hole down to the 5-yard line. Two receivers on each side. Back to Simons. Simons cuts it up the middle. Touchdown, Bombers. Great run there. Great blocking by the offensive line. You see that left side. Jackson Jones, Nathan McClellan. That's an unstoppable left side of that offensive line, and just a wide open hole. You can't do much better than that, Alec. If you're Coach Tate Meyer and Josh Jelinek, you're giving those boys some pancakes tonight after the game. Feed the linemen, and they'll treat you right. A 21.3 score game here in Fran Rish Stadium between the Richland Bombers and the hosting Hanford Falcons. Falcons have really one last shot to keep it going.
Looks like we don't see Slack out there. He's been the kicker for us the past 2 years. Looks like we bring out sophomore Samuel Amaya to kick this one.
Yeah, and Amaya has been kicking in the JV games, doing a really good job for the Bombers. And his first kick for Varsity, and guess what he does? Puts it right on the 20. Brought in, and they get a gap. Luckily, That's Bomber number 29, Jaden Booker, who was able to just hold on to him and keep him from getting loose. Could have been a big play by Sarabia. Falcons back on the field. Perks under center. 3 receivers stacked on the short side of the field. Perks drops back, looking on the sideline, and hit hard, and it's a fumble picked up by Rose. Rose with 2 turnovers on back-to-back drives gets the Bombers the ball back, and we'll see. And they do call it a fumble. It's Bomber ball recovered by Rose. 2 turnovers by Zach Rose, back-to-back drives. And that wasn't, granted, Rose picked it up, but that was a great defensive line pressure. Look at Schmidt and Daniels, both hit him. Or Daniels really forced the fumble, and then it looked like the play was dead, and Rose picked it up, took it to his advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Perks has been playing this game with a lot of pressure in the backfield. That's got to be the 3rd or 4th time that we've seen him with that kind of pressure. The last couple times he has gotten it away. That time getting hit, the ball gets loose, and the Bombers recover it, taking possession on the 37-yard line.
And Alec, Daniels has been in the backfield multiple times, and this second half, the primary reason he has been is because starting defensive end Cooper Holcomb is out. We don't know what his injury is. However, he's using crutches, has ice on his knee, pads and helmets are away from him at this time. So hoping everything's all right with Holcomb. Be a big loss for the Bombers, but Daniels seems to be filling in just fine in that spot.
We see 2 people in the back, 2 guys in the backfield here. Looks like the snap right to Simons. He takes it up the middle for a 9-yard gain here. Not something we've seen too often, a straight snap right to Simons.
No, in that Wildcat offense, you don't see the Bombers run very often.
Looks like Woodard is still on the sidelines.
Now, this is a surprise. However, this is a time for the Bombers to try something out. Later on in the season, sometimes you need an explosive play. And right now, look at that. 1 rush, 1 first down by Simons. And it's a direct snap. Now, you have 3 running backs, 2 blocking running backs, and 1 quick running back with Simons. And he follows Kane, but they stuff him behind the line. Worked once, couldn't get it to go the second time. Now he's taking plays as if he's the quarterback. I wonder if we'll see him throw the ball. And it looks like they'll just let time expire, and we'll be heading to the 4th quarter. Now, for this Wildcat, I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised that it's Simons back there. Reeves was a quarterback in middle school and Grid Kids ball, so he knows how to throw the ball. He's their placeholder for a reason. However, Simons, I don't know if he's ever thrown the ball in a football game, but we'll see what they continue with the Wildcats, with the Wildcat formation. Now they try a wildcat again. It didn't quite work, so Woodard's back in. 3rd and 11, or 3rd and 13. 3 receivers on the bottom of the screen. Woodard steps back, looks right, quick pass again to Bosick. Bosick finding his way past the chains, and that's a 1st down for the Bombers. Alec, if the Bombers can score here, it would take a miracle for Hanford to win. With a 4-score lead, there's not much coming back from that from the AC. Now Woodard with 2 receivers on each side of him. Woodard to Reeves, overthrows him. Reeves couldn't dive for that one like he could the last one.
Looks like Woodard with some frustration. He knows he overthrew that ball. Looks like Reeves didn't have much coverage on him there.
Now, even though this game is starting to get out of hand, the Falcons can pick up big momentum. It's not over yet. It's not over till the final buzzer blows. However, it would be great momentum heading into next week for the Falcons.
You see 3 receivers on the bottom. You see Reeves telling Daniels what's going on here. You see Woodard rolls out, does that quick pass right to Reeves. Reeves jumps back trying to miss that defender, and he gets taken out right at the 1-yard line.
Reeves is playing great today. He's everywhere. He's flying around, making things happen on both sides of the ball. You can see some frustration between Mackey, Reeves, and Bosick. They wanted that touchdown, but you know it's worth spreading the love. As Northrop, Birch, and Corbin on the left side, as Zach Rose all alone, but they give it back to Simon. Simon's cutting up field, and they mark it just short, about a half-yard a gain. And now they bring in yet another set of receivers. You saw one guy miss, got it down to 1, just missed the pylon.
Down to the 3-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield, and Woodard takes it himself.
Touchdown Bombers. Josh Woodard cuts it back. Said, I can just do it all myself. But once again, led by another great offensive line push. And it's safe to say, Alec, that seals it up. But Woodard got it done today, and I expect that's his last time in. But they do bring Slack out for the extra point. We saw Amaya take the kickoff. Slack still kicking the extra point. Kick is up and it's good. 41-13 here with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Another look at that, just runs it right up the middle.
As we see the line for the Bombers really helping out their offense when they get down to that goal line within that 5 yards. Their line just helps them out, just opening gaps for that run game, which is huge for the Bombers. Makes it a 4 touchdown game. now for the Falcons to come back from this one.
For all you fans watching either on Atomic TV or Hanford Student Media Productions, this is a joint combination from Hanford students and Richland students. We see the two teams facing off against each other on the field, but up here in the booth, both of our amazing teams are working together to put this production for you. So thank you to Hanford, the Hanford kids, thank you for the Richland kids, and thank you to Richland School District for giving us great opportunities, and especially Richland CTE, Career Technical Education, for making opportunities like this happen. Slack kicking off, puts it down on the 25-yard line, caught by Kaufman. Kaufman takes it to the sideline, brought down by Birch.
Seems like Kaufman has gotten every return tonight. Not sure if Slack is intending to do that or if that's just how it's worked out, but seems as if Kaufman has had all the returns tonight, and he looks pretty shifty out there.
Yeah, you'll see guys like that. They'll line up depending on what side the kick will kick to. Slack does always kick to the right side of the field. So it doesn't surprise me that they put him there. It's Perks in the backfield, shotgun formation. It's Preston Bryant on the bottom of your screen. And guess where he goes? Looks right at him, but he's not there. Throws it to Reeves. Reeves at his fingertip. Couldn't quite stick it.
See the frustration from Reeves there. He's had an excellent night.
You see Reeves, he's trying to get that next one if it comes his direction again. Great pressure by the defensive line. Now, for the Falcons, they need something to happen here, whether it's to win the game or it's for their morale. Both they need something to happen, a score, even a first down, because right now it seems like nothing's stopping this Bomber defense. They hand it to Henning. Henning runs over a guy, but brings him down with it. Another look at that almost interception by Race Reeves. Perks under center. Rolling out right, going deep. Guess it's to Bryant. Goes up off his fingertips. It bounces off the helmet of Zach Birch. Bryant cramping. But Corbin there to help.
Saw that deep ball again there. You don't see they didn't bring it in that time, but that's like the 5th or 6th time we've seen that just straight deep ball from Perks. Most always intended for Bryant down there too, as you saw again, right through the hands of Bryant and right off the helmet of Zach Birch.
It looks like the Falcons are bringing out their punt team. Alec, I've been waiting for it all year. A punt return. Last year, Seth Shook for the Bombers had, I believe, 3 or 4 on the year. Seth, obviously, now with the Vandals. Vandals play Cal this week. My brother plays for him, so gave a big shout-out to both the Richland and Hanford crew for this production. But go Vandals. And both teams have had players go on to that next level. And one of those guys, I'm guessing that would go on to that next level, would be Preston Bryant. He's looking like a stud tonight. Has the build of a college athlete, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see his name somewhere on the next level. He's only a junior too, so MCC stuck with him for another year. Simons and Birch back. This is the first time we've seen Zach Birch back to receive. Oh no, they're bringing out their offense. They had originally lined up with the long snapper on the ball, called a timeout. They come back, 4th down from the 34-yard line. First down marker, they need to get to the 45. Perks under center. They don't hand it off. They go backside. This time it is not intercepted by Reeves. Almost again. Ball bounced before he could get his hands on it.
But it looks like that pass may have been deflected before. It looked short of the receiver, so it may have been deflected out of the hands of Perks. That will result in a turnover on downs. Bombers will take over with 30 yards to go.
Bombers now on offense. It's Dylan Dunham. Hands it off to Kisa Kalani, takes it left side. Gets brought down. Still starting position for everyone in there other than the quarterback position, giving Woodard the rest he deserves after an awesome performance here. Still 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Woodard, 2 receivers outright, tight end and a receiver on the left. Oh, sorry, it's Dunham. Dunham looks right, gets it to Mackey. Stutter steps, gets the pass first down. You see that big old bear hug from Mackey to Dylan Dunham for his first varsity completion. This is the future for the Bombers. We'll see what Dunham does. They also have David Lee on the bench as well, who's a sophomore, both competing for that starting spot next year once Woodard's gone. But this is a great test. It's still a good chunk of time left on the clock. And we'll see what Dunham can do. It's Hanson in the backfield with him. And he pulls it, passes it to the corner. It's Daniels. Daniels knocked over, and they throw the pass interference. First down on the 12-yard line. It's an opportunity for Dunham to get his first career touchdown pass. Dunham shares the backfield with Hanson again. Receiver out, 2 receivers out left. Hands it off to Hanson. Hanson takes it up the middle, met by 3 Falcons. You see Perks back in the game on defense for the Falcons. We haven't seen that since kind of near the end of the first quarter, a little bit in the second quarter. not much in the third, but now fourth quarter, they put him back in. Six minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Bombers looking to expand their lead.
$17 yards to go here for Dunham. Snaps off, hands off again. Hanson, he's taken down in the backfield. That'll bring up third down for the Bombers. Looks like Kiso Kahanahe is back out there.
And even though Hanson is a backup running back, he's a starting linebacker, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of his last snaps, offense or defense for the night. But who knows? Rivalry game, I can see the Bombers just keeping their starters in and letting it go, other than Woodard, who they obviously would prefer to protect and have for the rest of the year. Don't want any late game injury. Dunham rolls out right, outruns a defender, and through the hands of Bosick. Tried to, almost too worried about getting his feet in bounds rather than trying to catch the ball. We'll see what they do if they bring out the field goal team, and know they keep receivers on.
It's interesting, obviously, the Bombers are up 4 touchdowns here. Even if they do turn it over, it does leave the Falcons. Guy in the backfield.
Hanson again turns into a blocking back. Dunham rolling out right, trying to find something, and he takes it himself, shifts, and just jumps out of bounds. Nothing there. The only guy that had an opportunity at all was Zach Rose on the completely opposite side of the field, and that's just too risky to throw him late.
Hanford taking over on about 6-yard line here. Long ways to go here for a touchdown with just a short amount of time left. Just under 5 minutes left in this game. The Bombers defense has showed their domination in the second half. Looks like a timeout called by the Falcons. That's their first timeout of the half.
Burks under center for the Falcons. He pitches it back to Kaufman. Kaufman working the right side, gets behind a blocker, gets taken down, gain of about 2. can feel kind of the energy of this game has almost been depleted, as it's almost impossible for the Falcons to come back. And it's safe to say that the Bombers took it just as personal as the Falcons did, as last year's win, as they took it as a loss. Perks pushes past, and the pile's still moving, pushes about 6 yards past the first down marker.
Looks like Perks moves his way to the front of that pile. Brings up 2nd and 2. 4 minutes left to play here.
Falcons looking to work off that first down by Perks. They pitch it, and it's through the hands of Kaufman on the ground. And we'll see what's recovered by. It looks like Hanford was able to recover it, and Kaufman did end up with the ball in his hands. It's Perks who's made most of the offense happen. Obviously, the quarterback always makes the offense happen, but it's been him either taking a defender away on a rush with a pitch option, or he's been putting balls in good spots for Preston Bryant to catch. You see Rafael Gonzalez in here at the bottom of your screen. But they don't look that way. Hand it off to Kaufman on the right side. Gain of a couple. Here's another look at that fumble. Just slipped right through his hands. Same formation. You see they've taken some of their starters. The Hanford's taken some out, their starters out as well. Rolls out to the left. Tries to get it over. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Christian Abel. And it's 4th and 10. We'll see if they stay on or they punt it and try and not let the Bombers score again. Timeout by the Falcons. A minute and 48 seconds left. Down by 28. The Falcons have put up a fight today, but the second half was all the Bombers, and mainly led by that guy, number 4, Josh Woodard. Got it done in the air and on the ground. And then plays like that by Race Reeves just kept the Bombers going. Teams come back on the field, and does look like they will have a punt team come out. Minute 48 seconds left. We'll see what the Bombers do and decide to do. If they decide to score again with Dunham as their quarterback, or if they'll just run the clock out and go home with a victory. Punt is blocked, picked up. I believe that's by Matthew Stanfield, and it is. Stanfield, a sophomore. Gunnar Grawl, starting outside linebacker, limping off the field. But in a game like this, you do whatever it takes to beat your rival. In this case, it's Richland defeating Hanford.
We've seen that Garral's been kind of fighting with an injury since the beginning of the game. Not sure if it was cramps, heard it could possibly be shin splints, but he is toughing it up through this game here. There's just a minute and 40 seconds left.
Now it's David Lee, like I was talking about, the sophomore end with Hansen in the backfield. Lee takes the snap, hands it off to Hansen. Hansen gets on the right side and runs right through a guy. Gets down to about the 15-yard line, gain 5.
Looks like there'll be about 3 plays left. The clock is slowly just ticking down. Hanford with only 1 timeout left. Can't really do much here.
And they go into victory formation. Coach Nyhold, and I've had many interviews with him. If you ask him his favorite play to run, it's this one right here, victory formation. If he could run it every play and win a game, he would. And they do, and it looks like they'll have one more play, and then time will expire. Now, for the players that played on this team last year, this was a personal game for the Bombers and for the Falcons. The Falcons couldn't quite pull off a victory last year, but was super close. And this year, the Bombers have just took off. And here you see the end of the game. The Bombers 41, the Hanford Falcons 13. Once again, thank you guys for letting me join you tonight alongside Alec Ammerman with this cross-school broadcast produced by both Richland and Hanford students. And it's all possible because Richland School District Career and Technical Education ran by Ryan Beard. So thank you for all who are a part of it. The Hanford students, the Richland students, it took both of us tonight. Have a fantastic evening.